Hello and welcome to my, well, I was going to say short, but this is probably not going to be short at all, most likely over an hour long, quick guide or walkthrough guide of Reincarnation 10. But judging of some of the comments or some of the videos I've received, a lot of people are struggling with Reincarnation 10 as soon as they get to it after going through Reincarnation 1 through 8 and even 9. So I figured I would make a quick little, commentary to explain my reasonings, the decisions I make, the reasons I select specific talismans, and my general idea going into a run, to give you a rough idea of how well informed you probably should be going into a run, or at least what you want to be aiming for, how much preparedness you want. So in this run, we'll be going for a Pheonix Roar Xiao build. I probably butchered the pronunciation of it, but we'll mainly be using Astro Forecast, the secondary skill that shoots cards, in conjunction with the damaging abilities of the Pheonix Roar that causes extra weapon damage whenever you hit something with skill damage. I will be focusing on many instances of skill damage alongside high weapon damage to dish out a lot of damage throughout the run. So to do that, we're going to be using the Meteor Talisman, which is a slightly unorthodox pick. Usually, for most characters, Notch Talisman is the best in the game. It gives you free weapon damage, free skill damage, faster primary cooldowns, more shields, armor, and max health, as well as movement speed. There is no reason you shouldn't pick this one if you're unsure what you're doing. At worst, it's just going to give you a whole bunch of passives. Like, even without this whole, the conditions and power gems, if you don't know what you're doing here, just picking the Notch Talisman is a very solid option if you're unsure. But for this one, we're going to be using the Meteor Talisman. It's actually fairly nice. It gives you +1 dash capacity, which helps a lot in the mobility, especially early game. It also offers up a lot of damage. Don't underestimate the power of Meteor. It does a lot of damage, and especially with this build I have in mind, it's going to be synergizing a lot. So for the conditions starting out, I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to, but we're going to go with skill damage, because that's the thing we're going to be doing a lot, and we will be also relying on Meteor a lot. So double stack Meteor. As for the other two gems, it's up to preference. I prefer Spirit, Restore Spirit to have more secondary skills, because we'll be using that a lot. Alongside Emergency Recovery. Don't underestimate this gem, it gives you free health recovery throughout your entire run. Having health recovery, not just health by the way, it also restores your shields if you're at full health already. Gives you just so much sustain throughout the entire run, and it's gonna save your bacon more than you can probably imagine. On top of that, if you are missing some health, it's gonna increase your damage for a short while, so there's no reason you shouldn't grab the emergency recovery. With all that, we're also going to enable Lone Wolf 4, because I'm a masochist, and skipping the extra blessing. Again, if you're doing Reincarnation 10 runs, initially, don't do Lone Wolf at all. I recommend disabling this, at most keeping Mysterious Jokel, and even then probably disabling that, doing it entirely vanilla. But, because I like the added challenge, we're doing Lone Wolf, level 4, no extra blessing, and then Mysterious Jokel. Reincarnation level 10, with the current Talisman, Arcane Talisman Seasonal. And with that, we're ready to start. So the first thing we want to do here is pick up a blessing. Now, we immediately know what kind of build we want to go for. So, something that synergizes with secondary skills, weapon damage, and other things of the like. Out of all of them, there are only a few that really benefit us. Explosive Hand is a massive one. It causes the secondary skill that you have to deal explosive damage in a small radius, which is going to trigger your weapon from Pheonix Roar, that's weapon damage, even more. So this one is a clear beneficial. Another one is, I forgot the name, Infinite Assault? Something Assault, I forgot the name of the blessing. But it's the blessing that doubles your secondary skill capacity and then restores a secondary skill every 4 or 3 seconds. Another very, very solid choice for the build we want. But starting out, Explosive Hand is exceptionally strong. because we'll be relying on secondary skills for this guy a lot. So Explosive Hand is a very good choice. Another good choice for Spiritual Remnant, if you're starting out, if you're unsure, is Battle Scarred. 50% damage reduction, or 50% damage resistance, alongside passive health regen is just so good. It's going to allow you to tank so much damage throughout the entire run. Starting weapon, as long as it's not the weapon you're looking for, it doesn't really matter which weapon you go for. Probably something that generally synergizes with your character is good. Otherwise, if you're unsure, just a fully automatic, normal weapon. Oh, a talisman. Talisman for a talisman. Not the best weapon in my opinion. It's very fun to use the talisman in lower difficulties, but generally higher difficulties, I've yet to find a really good use for it for most of my builds. The thing it offers you is cover you any elemental effects you may want, but the problem with the talisman is that the effect chance is so low. It's only 10% by default. Luckily, this one got the 100%. You can see it actually. Got the 100% increased effect, so it would be a very good choice if you want to go for an elemental build, having that. But it's a bit too early, and that's not the build we want. Like, already know going into this, that's not the build we want. Another good idea is generally keep your distance from enemies. Unless you're doing a close quarters shotgun or melee build, just keep your distance from enemies. There's no reason to get close. So, we already know we want to use the secondary skills. However, we didn't get any secondary skill essentials here to choose from. So, with that, we pick the second best option that benefits us in some way. Heaven Strike, 100% extra bonus damage for using Falling Star, that's the primary skill. Okay, not amazing. If the quality of Astro House for Elder Star is not lower than last time, 20% damage for every slot. Not that great either. Out of all of these, probably Last Star or Heaven Strike. Last Star is going to give us a lot of lucky shot chance, because we'll be clearing the ammo a lot from the Pheonix Roar, because every time it fires, it clears its last ammo in the magazine, technically. So it would clear one random Astro aspect, which isn't exactly what we're looking for. So Heaven Strike just makes the most sense here. Primary skill is still going to be doing a lot of damage late game, thanks to just how Xiao actually works. Alright, let's see what scroll we get. Hidden Transaction, an okay scroll. Here we have the option, since we are Xiao, we can re-roll this, reset it. However, this is actually a fairly good scroll because we will be relying on weapon damage, so later on that's going to allow us to get a few more weapon levels. So for now, I would say keep this. Pretty good pickup. Not an amazing early game one, but we will find a use for it eventually. Hero of a Craftsman. Generally, it's worth it to just add a free etch to the starting weapon that you have. Maybe sometimes if you're using the other weapon that you got, level 1, sometimes worth it to just etch on an add-on, or etch on an inscription to get some bonus damage or something if you feel you're lacking it. However, since we're not really lacking damage right now, our damage is doing fairly fine because of the blessing that we picked up. I'm not going to be wasting any money on that. I'll be saving the money later on for more weapon upgrades. Yeah, so the blessing right now is doing a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of our damage. One of the benefits of picking up a damage-oriented blessing early on instead of something like Battle Scarred. And that Meteor is doing a lot of work for us as well, which is very nice to see. Another nice thing you might really want to start using is use cover. Especially during these first few stages. Using cover is very effective to minimize damage and damage taken. Angelic Aura, 50% chance to refill. Not that amazing. I'm gonna recycle it. The current weapon we have is working out fine. Do we get anything good here? No. So this one, Card Storm. I'm very much on the fence on this, and I believe it's not that good for the type of build we're going for. It's specifically the second half. The first half is really good. There's a chance to summon 3 cards and obtain 1 Astro aspect of current Astro House after you hit the shots on enemies. That's a very good bonus. The problem is this one. When consuming 25% of the magazine's capacity as an accumulated quantity, shoot 1 holding card and reset the accumulated process. This is a problem if you're using the Pheonix Roar, because it has 1 shot in the magazine, which effectively means we'll be throwing away 4 cards every time we do a swish or like an attack using the Pheonix Roar. That is really bad, because those cards are not going to be homing. So that's a problem, which means we don't want this one actually. It's pretty bad. So, instead, I just think we do another level of Heaven Strike here, because we still didn't get any card ascensions, or secondary skill ascensions, as you'd say. And sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles, as they say. Sometimes you don't get the ascensions you need, and sometimes your run just falls apart because of it, and that's perfectly okay. Just restart and try again. Though, so far, it's a bit too early to call this run dead in the water just yet. We still have plenty of opportunities, and this primary skill is still going to allow us to do a lot of damage. Ow. And yes, I will be talking a lot throughout this entire thing, so just keep that in mind. Resolute! Plus 50% movement speed and 50% damage when your shield and armor is 0. Really good primary effect. This problem is the downside. 300% shield reset time before you are recharging. If we had the scroll that means that our shield recharge cannot be interrupted, I forgot the name of it, this one would be amazing. Or if we have something like Flesh to Bones, where we don't have any shields at all, this one is active at all times. Early on, this one is really bad, because we don't really have any way of mitigating this other than our Talisman Emergency Recovery. Which means that I'm going to be re-rolling this one, because I can, as this hero. Long Shot, an okay scroll, increased damage at long range as a weapon. You can never go wrong with it, it's never bad, but some characters use it better than others. Let's see, do we get anything interesting here? Berserker's Soul. Not an amazing one. Generally, if you get the option to pick up scrolls at stores, you generally want to take them just out of principle. This one is actually going to be really nice, because we're going to be dashing around a lot. So dash stacks increases our skill damage. I'll take that. Berserker Soul. I don't foresee us getting airbag anytime soon, but that's really the only place where this will shine. And even then, we'll be using emergency recovery to heal up our health. So I'm going to actually skip this one. And no weapon that we really want to see here, so. Just had to be immortal, didn't you? Okay, so we take 10% damage upon dashing, which is not the greatest. So, one thing I've started to realize with this build is that my Talisman just isn't triggering its effect that often. Like, we don't get that many meteors. And that is a problem. We need to fix that. So, let's go back to our Talisman. Throughout your run, you kinda want to look around for your conditions and figure out which one of these is the easiest one for me to trigger at basically any given time. And I'm realizing that we're not doing that many instances of skill damage, so this one doesn't actually benefit us that much. So let's look at some other ones. Primary skill, we use it every now and then, but not that often, so probably not that one. Weapon resource skill, we don't use that at all. Critical hits and shoot. Shoot could be a benefit one. We have a fully automatic weapon, so this one could trigger fairly often. However, I think a better one would be secondary skill. Use secondary skill 3 or 2 times based on Talisman's skill. So this one would be 3 times since we have the normal quality. This one would be slightly better. However, I think one for the time being would be either dash or defeat enemies. Right now, since we have so many enemies running around, defeat enemies is a pretty solid bonus to grab, pretty solid condition. So we're gonna go with this one for the time being, which is gonna give us a lot more meteors and a lot more stuff to work with. As you can see, a lot more meteors and such. I'm gonna keep my own advice and actually keep some distance here. And you can already tell we're getting a lot more meteors from swapping that, as you can see. Another tip, always stay moving, if you can help it. These enemies are going to have a harder time hitting you. There we go. Not too shabby. Sunder is actually a pretty good weapon early on. If you don't have anything else, Sunder is a pretty solid weapon, in my opinion, starting out. I'm not going to keep it for long term, though, that's for sure. Phantom Peddler. Increased copper. This is a utility scroll, and I don't really have any use for it, so we're going to refresh and see if we can get something else. Fortune Challenger will be Curiosity Box or Enhanced Curiosity Box. Generally, this one is really good, especially early on, because it's going to give us a lot of scrolls to work with. Generally, more scrolls is better than specific scrolls, in my opinion, because they can kind of overlap in the build that you're making. So we're actually going to grab this one. And we're also going to do the vault, of course. Don't forget the vault. Here we finally get something good. So, perfect deck. More weapon or more skill damage for our cards. Absolutely want to grab that. Because we're relying on our cards at the moment, so getting more skill damage from it is very good. Let's see what we got here. Pay some money for a box. Usually I just pick Luxurious Box and hope for a Legendary Scroll. The reason I always pick Luxurious, if I can help it, is because Legendary Scrolls tend to be the build-defining ones, or that really, really help you in some way. So getting something really good here, potentially a Legendary Scroll could be really helpful. Fountain of Life, it's a small health recovery thing. Early on, it can be pretty good, so generally hold on to it. It's a form of damage mitigation. It's a very poor form of damage mitigation that heals you, but if you don't have anything else, early on it can actually be very good. As just a way to passively regen your health again. Gonna fumble that one. Yeah, the meteors are putting in work for us. And don't forget, dashing as well with this talisman is going to increase the amount of meteors that we get, so. So far, so good. Stack up our cards. There we go, not so shabby. Don't forget to pick up all that money. And here we got our first choice chests. Granted, we have Fortune Challenger, so we're gonna get guaranteed a one of these, yeah. So all of these are enhanced. I'm just gonna pick it up and see what we get. Enhanced Table Supply. Peddler always has 2 occult scrolls. Really, really good scroll to get early on. Absolutely excellent. I realize now I should have gone in and picked it up before I came out and bought stuff from the Peddler. It's tiny optimizations like that that will help you in the long run, but it's not game ending. Alright, so what are we looking for here in terms of power gems? Well, stuff that gives us secondary skill damage, secondary recovery, that improve our meteors, stuff like that is generally what we want. If you had a weapon build with, for instance, I forgot the name, the Shotgun Bird, I forgot their name. Ammo compression is really, really, really good for them. Potentially game-breaking if you used it alongside a Hell Shotgun. But we're not doing that right now, so. None of these are particularly valuable to us, so let's reroll. Thunder is an absolutely absurd power gem. If you're unsure what to add in a Thunder. It stuns enemies for 1.5 seconds, which is going to give you so much breathing room. We're absolutely going to pick up a Thunder here. None of these other ones except Restore Spirit is potentially good for us, so let's keep rerolling. Ammo regen, not really necessary. Critical conversion, nothing at all. Right, we're going to pick up a Meteor Talisman here from the general pack. The more ones we get, the more Meteor Talismans we get, eventually it's going to upgrade itself, which is exactly what we want. Alright, let's see here for a minute. We're going to remove 1 Meteor and add in a Thunder. Even though this is the Meteor Talisman, it is still very much worth it to add in a Thunder, because it just stuns enemies, and that's going to save your bacon a lot more than you realize from taking unnecessary damage. We're going to remove 1 Restore Spirit and add in the second Meteor again. Emergency Recovery, I'm still going to keep this. Having the passive health regen is just too valuable for us right now. Remember, dodge back and cover when you're being shot. Once we get the Pheonix Roar, however, one of the easiest trigger gems in existence is going to be available to us. And I realize we don't have any more secondary skills because we ran out. We can use this though because it has explosive damage. Come on. Ah, thank you. I hate these shield guys, especially early on before you really have any means of dealing with them. Given a cold scroll for a luxurious box? Yes. So this scroll that we picked up earlier that's kinda pointless? Excellent scroll to hand over here. Greedy choice! Absurdly good with the Fortune Challenger that we got. It's gonna allow us to pick up a bunch of small boxes all at once, which is gonna be really good. Oh, we got a legendary Astro House. That's unusual. I don't complain. Again, this video is going to assume you already know how the heroes work, and this is just a general guide for my mindset of a Reincarnation 10 run. Explaining how the thought process works and everything. Let's recycle you, because I don't really need you. Mini-boss, I'm gonna wait until I can get the next goblet before I even attempt that guy, because Reincarnation 10 elites early on are pretty nasty. Also, I am noticing the guys in the back, these longbowmen, really dangerous early on. Hello. I'm gonna snipe them first if possible, thank you. They've ended far more runs for me than I care to count. Completely missed that. I know we just got these guys left. Oh, he's shielding. I want to kill this guy first then. Woodpecker. I think I want that. Please give me. Thank you. Woodpecker is a really, really strong weapon. Just in general. Especially starting out early like this. I can snipe the top of his head. Yeah, and that let him in. Sunder, we're gonna replace you with this thing. Galaxy Talisman. It's an okay one. Let's see here. Plus 10 max shield for every slot. Quality, this one's kind of meh. 2 times the amount of Astro Aspects. We're not really frothing or in high demand for Astro Aspects right now. So just take the increased shield, and when taking damage there's a chance to be immune to it. Pretty good damage mitigation. It's also going to help us improve the emergency recovery, how much health it recovers each time, in case it needs to. Alright, I'm slightly worried about this mini-boss. We don't have enough, any, like, completely absurd amount of damage that might help us with this. So that is a slight worry. However, I have a solution for this. We could keep the enemies defeated thing, but I have another idea. We're going to swap that for something else. If all possible. So defeat enemies, we're not really defeating that many enemies right now. Instead, I'm thinking... Do we still have the... Yes, we do. We still have the concealed ammo. This is most likely going to be this guy, right? Yeah. He has a really big critical hitbox. So we're going to add in the critical hits, and then we're going to focus on this thing. Just focus on the critical hits on him. And that's going to trigger our gem, our talisman a lot. That's the plan. Just be careful. This is always the most sketchy part of any run. And there we go. Not too bad. 10% weapon damage for each slot. Okay. Recover 5 shield for every aspect obtained. Not the greatest. 5 shield for every astro aspect is a really low return, so we're just going to take the increased weapon damage here. 72% or 36% weapon damage is still pretty fine. Tiger Cannon, we're not really a heavy build, so we're going to recycle that. Again, abuse Talisman as much as they can. They give so much damage, so many benefits. There's no reason to really abuse them like this. Now the question is, do we pick up all here, or do we wait? We can wait and try and roll for one that has all 3 as enhanced, instead of just 1 enhanced. So we're just going to grab this one. And we got 3. Okay, we got some pretty good ones here. We got Enhanced Blessing in Disguise. Pretty damn good. Enhanced Efficient Firepower. Pretty good. And Enhanced Vindictive Nature. Very good stuff. Very, very good rolls on that one. It's going to help our damage a lot. And this one is going to be really nice on the long term, especially going into the final Ice World. Unfortunately, we've got the slightly more difficult boss, so that's going to be interesting how we deal with it. Enhanced Empty Bonus, that's going to be really good once we get the Pheonix Roar. So here's a funny combo you can do if you're unsure how you're going to do with all the damage. Demon Lore is a funny weapon because it gives you a lot of critical damage as long as you don't have to reload. And it turns out there is literally bullet reload power gem, which is quite frankly stupid. So that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with shoot and bullet reload. So this should allow us to, in theory, continue firing this weapon forever without having to reload. That's going to be massive. I'm even going to etch this one, see what we get. Yeah. So this is going to be really, really good. This shouldn't be a problem, this boss, at all, because of this. Yeah, because we don't have to reload, we're currently gaining a lot of weapon stacks for Demon Lawyer. 40 stacks already. And here come the little guys. Always this most awkward part of this boss fight. Especially since I have limited amount of cards to summon. Ow! Hello. And there we go, that's a lot of damage. Now I just noticed something, my health is kinda low. Why is that? Oh, we got Devil's Covenant. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, we're gonna toss that one. Actually, we're gonna re-roll it into Undivided Attention, sure. Sure. More base damage. And we got... what was it? Elemental Convergence. Kind of a bad one for us. We're not really going to be caring about elemental damage. And Elemental Torment, kind of okay. More lucky shot chances, something you can never really go wrong with. Okay, so for the time being, we're going to be using this Demon Lore. Again, just because you have an idea of the build you want to make, doesn't mean you're always going to get that build in the towards the end. Sometimes you just have to go with what you're given. Get the next talisman, which is going to give us an epic meteor. Very nice. Skill boost could pick this up, but it's low level, so no real point to it. I'll pick up another meteor talisman. Did we get more slots for this? Yes, we did. So we'll add in the thunder again. So we have one epic meteor, one regular meteor, one thunder, bullet reload, and emergency recovery. Very good stuff. And we still have the shoot trigger. Right, let's see which blessing we get. Every time you use weapon skill, plus 20% lock chance for 10 seconds. Now, we are going to be using the Pheonix Roar once we find it, and it does have a weapon skill. The problem is it doesn't trigger often enough for skill to trick to be really useful. So we're not going to be taking that one. Supreme Craftsman is an okay, just when all the other options are bad. However, Gem Collector is going to give us... Is it the auto one, or is that later? I think it's just the copy one. All of these most of these kind of suck for us right now. Gem Collector is okay, but it doesn't give us any immediate benefit, and that's kind of what we want. So that's really not really going to cut it. But I think that's what we're going to have to do. Yep. Gem Collector it is. Not really what I wanted, but it's what we have to roll with. I would have preferred Battle Scarred, Astro, one that decreases our primary skill damage, could have been really nice as well. Anything other than those kind of useless ones. But it shouldn't, again, not the end of the world of the run. Can still make this work. Dodge the shots. So nice trick for these rogue arsonists, if you didn't know. You can shoot, this is something I only recently figured out. You can focus the barrel on their back, and that will kill them a lot faster than actually shooting them in the head. Nice little bonus trick. Argus. Ooh, 2 exclusive ones, but not quite what we're looking for. There's a bolt. Is it a mini-boss? Yes, that's a mini-boss, so we want to wait with that one until we're finished with everything else here. Hello there. Dodge the shots. Since we don't have that much movement speed, it's generally better to just find cover. Ow, yeah, they hurt a lot, so be careful. It's always the sniper enemies that do me in most of my runs. It's really unfortunate. Oh, we got an elite incoming. I want to kill that sniper in the back, if all possible, before I try and really engage the elite here. Focus the barrel. Great, we've got a shield enemy. Fantastic. That's going to be fun to deal with. Luckily, our talisman is putting in a lot of work with all these meteors. What are the benefits, again, of talismans? If you're unsure what to add, just go meteor. We got a starfly. Very good modifier there. Increasing damage against elite bosses. That one's always good, no matter which weapon get it. Unfortunately, we're not going to use using a starfly this build. So not really what we're looking for. Well, rapid fire. We're not really going to be using rapid fire. We'll grab this Ascension, we'll grab the red box back there. And then we'll go handle the elite. What do you have? Give money to obtain luxurious box? Sure. Scroll Enhancer, that one's pretty okay actually. Granted, we're not going to be using it that much. Scroll Enhancer specifically for this hero isn't the greatest thing ever, because you generally don't recycle scrolls, you just reroll them. Speaking of which, I should actually do that. We'll reset this one, because I don't really care about elemental damage. Corrosive Shard, really good. Probably the best shard, elemental shard in the game. Just giving you immunity to corrosive is so nice. What is going to kill you a lot of the time is being slowed and affected by corrosive. So being immune to that is pretty big. Very, very good. What else don't we really need? Longshot we already rerolled. Persistent probably could be rerolled here, and that's not something I'm going to do. Wait for good. Not the greatest thing I've heard, but it will suffice. Now I'm going to look around on these right here. This is something hero unique for the bird, by the way. You can choose which one as per expect you wanted to aim for. And just look around, see which one can you get the highest one in out of these two. Because we don't have enough legendary scrolls yet, even aiming for it, we only get a 33% chance. So just go for rare most, since that's the highest chance. That's generally what I do it. Until the late game, until you have enough legendary scrolls to really make it work. Just go rare. And that's going to give you the most consistent damage with your primary. Alright, which one do we get? Oh, it's you, of course. Granted, we have our meters and such. Again, just keep firing, because that's our trigger gem. So just keep firing. And I want to keep dashing as well, because dashing is going to give us more meteors. Ow. Well, you could potentially die here. Unless we're not careful. Avoid the shots coming from him. I want to lure him away, if possible, from the enemy snipers. We got a legendary Astro House. Very good stuff. There we go. Took a little bit. More damage? Sure, this is turning into a primary skill build all of a sudden. Not that I'm complaining. Well, actually, I am complaining, because we still haven't found the Pheonix Roar, still haven't gotten enough secondary skills to really make it worth it. Sometimes, by the way, if you don't get the scrolls and ascensions you're looking for, sometimes it's just worth it to pivot into another build based on what you're actually getting. Overflowing Waters. Normally for any other weapon skill based build in the entire game, I would pick this up instantly. It is really good if you're not using your secondary skills. However, we're going to be using our secondary skills a lot, so this one is no-go for us. Unfettered Will. Increased weapon damage for every copper. Very good one actually for this build, since we still haven't found the weapon we're looking for and we're banking up 5,000 gold, so that would be a pretty sizable damage increase. We're going to take it. Unfettered Will is one of those just generally good ones, especially early on, before you've gotten the weapon you're looking for, before you really start upgrading your weapons. It's just a general damage increase. Like see here, 100% weapon damage. Like, basically for free. It's just a good scroll. It gets even better if you have other scrolls that give you extra money or that save you money, like premium membership. Prized health is another really good money generating one. Do you have anything for us immediately? No. Not you. Refresh. Critical boost. Another rare meteor. We'll take that. Nothing else that really benefits us. Yeah, and replace that. Really good. Yep. Yeah, Meteor is putting in a lot of our damage. If we actually look at the amount of damage it's doing about 40% of all our damage in total. Which is kind of crazy. Also, I apologize for the neighbor's dog shouting in the background. In case you hear that throughout the video, we have dogs. Our neighbors have dogs, I should say. So I apologize for that. Fourth wave. It's really upsetting that we still haven't found the weapon I'm actually looking for. Alright, I want to try and kill off most of these smaller enemies first, if all possible, before going for this guy. Okay, hello. Whoop, 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 whoop. Careful. Here we go, it's him down. Careful of the mines. Keep keeping cover if all possible from the enemy snipers. That's why I'm keeping to this wall right here. Shoot the barrel, come on. There we go. Stay behind cover. There we go. Last wave incoming. Keep staying mobile. Mobility is king in this situation, keeping us alive. Another big tip that I have is using the minimap. Whenever you don't have direct line of sight of enemies, look at the minimap, because usually they are pretty close nearby and you just don't realize it, or they're just spawning in. So looking at the minimap can give you a general indication of where they are. I highly, highly recommend getting used to looking at it for a quick overview, so you know where enemies are. Forever aspect obtained? Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll take it. Just free weapon damage and skill damage. Get a cursed scroll to gain a weapon with at least one exclusive inscription. Generally not worth it. Even if you don't have the weapon you're looking for, this is just going to give you a random weapon that you're most likely not going to use. This is a really bad offering. Just take the... spend money for a scroll instead. Lucky Gunman. Lucky shot chance up, but less weapon damage if you don't do a lucky shot. Casual gunmanship is generally just a free pick, because as soon as you get above 100% lucky shot chance, it just starts adding even more lucky shot chance to you. So it's just free lucky shot chance, which is just free damage. Let's do the vault. Is it a mini boss? It is unfortunately a mini boss. I prefer the parkour ones because they're, you know, easy. Let's see what mini boss we get. And that is why the lightning, thunder, I don't know if it's thunder or lightning, I forgot here in a minute. The thunder power gem is so good because it can stun mini bosses like that and just allow you to just completely mag dump them. That's why I say that the thunder power gem is generally the best thing in the entire game. Magnetic coil, not a bad one, just generally free elemental synergies. Safety measures could actually be really good. I might just pick up safety measures. It allows us to recover some health after dashing, in case we're missing it, if we take the damage within the 1 second, and sometimes this can allow you to just become completely immortal as long as you keep dashing. And the thing is, we have 5 dashes, so I think we take up this safety measures. None of these other two ones. This one is slight damage bonus with slight utility. Generally a pretty poor scroll. Magnetic coil, if you have an elemental focused build, it can add on another elemental synergy for you. But we don't really focus on elemental synergies this build, so safety measures is the correct choice. Again, just picking smart. Knowing what you have, knowing what you're aiming for is generally a good idea. If I had an elemental build, I would have most likely picked the shock circle. Like, very, very likely I would have done that. Alright, let's delete. That's gonna be a few of them, I realize. Let's see if I can kill this guy off before he becomes a problem. And I realize in that now it's not gonna be less of a problem. Let's kill off this guy first instead. If all possible. Watch out for the snipers. Watch out for the mines. But just dodging everything right here is the most tricky part. I don't have time for you. Please go away. Okay, we're in a pickle here. Very bad positioning. Really, really bad positioning. But safety measures is keeping us alive with our dashes. Holy crap! Safety measures is so good right now. Yeah. So safety measures just saved our bacon so hard because of the regeneration after dashing. Like, I can't even describe how big of a save that was. We would have most likely gone down without it, so it already proved itself its worth. Where from? You there. Alright, that was kinda close. And we've still yet to find our... Still yet to find the Pheonix Roar, which is pretty upsetting, I'm gonna be honest. a vault back there. No, don't. Oh. Instinctually reloaded. That's a problem. Still don't want to upgrade you. We're gaining weapon damage from our scroll anyway. For hoarding this money, so it's fine. I really hope the vendor up here, or the talisman... peddler, I should say, has a Pheonix Roar. Please have a Pheonix Roar for us. Enhanced Abnormal Speed! One of the best scrolls in the entire game. It is basically free movement speed as long as you keep your health up, which, this build, we're gonna keep full health. Absolutely an easy pickup. None of these other weapons are stuff we're looking for, so... Like right now, our damage is being mainly carried by our skill damage. Or rather, I should say our talisman is carrying our damage. Oh, I can't wait to get a Pheonix Roar here soon. Then keep cover if you can. Oh, this is upsetting. No Pheonix Roar for the Pheonix Roar build guide video. Not the best arena, but I want high ground here, so I'll take it. Kill off the sniper if I can. Hello. We'll take this high ground instead, so I can easily deal with the snipers. Do you have a Pheonix Roar? Oh my lord, he has a Pheonix Roar. We finally got it. Alright. Let's see what it has. 25% rate of fire. Okay. 25% total weapon damage against enemies in shock effect. Pretty okay. Okay, not amazing. Explosion for corrosive damage when enemy is killed. Okay. During non-weapon skill, weapon skill restores 30% energy cap for every 5 times of hero skill hit. That's a pretty good one. We're absolutely going to pick this up. There's no doubt about it. Sucker Punch, we're a skill damage based build, so absolutely. Skateboard, our weapon has 1 magazine in the clip, so pointless. Let's reroll. On the house, we will actually take this one, because we're going to be buying a lot of scrolls from the peddlers since we have enhanced stable supply. Right, we got the Pheonix Roar. Finally. I'm going to immediately set it to auto-cast. And, because we now get the Pheonix Roar, we shoot really slow, so we want to remove this power gem, or this condition gem. And, instead, we want to go with the ammo consuming. Consumes 400%, 300%, or 200% ammo of your current weapon's magazine. This means we have to fire 3 times. 1, 2, 3, for it to trigger the effects. That's it. And I got stuck on something because that's the wall. Yeah, so we need just to fire 3 times for it to fulfill the condition, which is absurd, quite frankly. And this is what I mean by the gems become progressively more and more absurd as you go. One thing we're going to do though is we no longer need bullet recovery. So we're going to add in Restore Spirit instead. Absolutely. No, you don't. This corrosive immunity is putting in work. Yeah, so our damage output isn't insane, but it's very sustainable, it's very good. It's a lot of AoE as well. Unfortunately, we are up against these shield guys, which is really annoying. See if we can finish one of them off at least. Here we go. That's one. And that's two. There's one left. Arcane shop. Seems pretty good. Now, since we have our weapon, the main weapon we want to be using is this one. We'll be keeping this one. We can start upgrading it as well. We also want to see if we can add a Gemini to it. Now, Pheonix Roar is kind of a unique case. Many of the Gemini that you would otherwise use for most weapons don't really apply. The best Gemini, or one of the two best Gemini in my opinion, is the Plant Spore, or Spore Burst Gemini, which is going to help us out a lot. So we want to look for a weapon like a shotgun to get the most benefit out of it. That's what we want to be looking for. Unfortunately, none of these are shotguns, so... Pain for gain! I'm going to reset this one. Energy storage! Pretty good, I'll take it. Even though we don't maybe not use that much of our primary skill, it's still a very useful and handy one. We'll buy cards, sure. They're free anyway. And then don't forget the vault. We're gonna go back and do that. More damage? Sure. Take that. So yeah, we're on the lookout for a hell shotgun or hell shotgun, I should say, or some kind. I don't want to upgrade our weapon just yet, though. Luckily, we've got the corrosive shard here, so whatever boss we get is probably not going to be a problem, because I think this stage is guaranteed to be the corrosive monster. Luckily for us, he's getting stun locked and basically destroyed. Not so shabby. Alright, what do we get? Lightning shard? Okay. Glazed sight? Not really that important because we're not going to be doing any crits. Or divine energy. Ooh. Lightning shard or divine energy? I think we take divine energy here. It's free skill damage, so we take it. It's not a massive boost, but it's still 20%. With the possibility of adding more as time goes on, depending on the red chests that we find. Very solid option. If this wasn't a skill damage build, if this build made use of no skill damage, Glazed Sight would have absolutely been the correct choice. Glazed Sight, for generally most weapon builds, is just a preferred choice because it's increased crit damage, which actually adds quite a lot. Here's a funny one. Preemptive Strike. Plus 50% weapon damage if magazine is full. Our weapon is essentially full at all times because it only has one in the clip. It applies the same way to the knives, the thrown knives, you know, the kunai, the firework. I forgot the name of it, but it applies the same all to them. So Preemptive Strike is absolutely a pick for us. Evil Devouring Sword. For every cursed scroll you own, plus 25% weapon damage and skill damage. We don't have any cursed scrolls right now, and it doesn't look like we'll be picking up any anytime soon, so we're going to refresh. Resolute, again, situational, not really what we're looking for. Elemental Relic, it's not a bad one, it's not a good one, but it is a free scroll, so we're going to take it. Hell Shotgun, here we go. Here's a good weapon to Gemini. Because what you're looking for with a Spore Burst Gemini, or like the, Spore Burst I think it's called, You want a weapon with lots of pellets and then as high damage as possible. So let's see if we can get it. Yeah, plant spores. There we go. They should massively increase our damage. Because each instance, the reason why we do the plant spores for this is that each instance of weapon damage now gives that, on-hit effect. And the thing is, it doesn't just apply to our main attack, it also applies to every single one of our secondary skills and primary skills because of how the Pheonix Roar works. If you see the effect here. Let's see here. Targets take AoE damage when hit by Pheonix Roar or skill damage. So every time they're hit by a skill damage, they also take an instance of weapon damage, which is the reason why this build is so effective. Because it basically doubles down on the amount of damage that you're doing. So let's see how much damage we can actually do on this build, with this build. Yeah, not shabby damage at all, I would say. Not bad at all. Dodge out of the way. That's one of the attacks that you really, really want to have movement for, because otherwise it's nearly impossible to dodge. Yeah, move out of the way. Jump over the shockwave effects. Dash out of the way. Jump over. Jump, jump, and jump. Yeah, I would say our damage is pretty okay. It's not absurdly high, but it's keeping up, I would say. This damage is fairly fine for this stage of progression. And especially considering this build is more oriented towards AoE damage and dealing with trash rather than singular targets. Let's see here. When clearing slots, that's pretty good. There's a chance to obtain 2 times as many Astro Aspects. I'm gonna start taking all for these, because both of these are pretty okay. And since we still have 5 charges of this, I'm gonna start taking all for them. Enhancement Lever, pretty okay scroll. Foundry Blessing, if you know what you're doing, it's an amazing scroll. We're not gonna be using it though, so I'm gonna reset it. Rampage Time, excellent scroll. One of the best scrolls in the entire game, in my opinion. It's free movement speed, free damage, free rate of fire, of all things as well. Let's see here. Weapon Boost. That might actually be a really good pick here. Let's see what we have. Actually, no. Weapon Boost is really good if you have a talisman with a short cooldown. Charge Talisman, as well as... Let's see here. Something like the Galaxy Talisman. Galaxy Talisman only has a 1.5 second cooldown and makes excellent use out of the weapon, out of the increased weapon damage, the weapon boost one. Unfortunately, we do not really care about that one, so we're gonna refresh it away. Actually, Restore Spirit, almost missed it. 2 secondary uses, very good. Skill Boost, I'm tempted to pick it up. I really am. And I think I will, actually. Or will I? Let's look at our scrolls again. Meteor, Restore Spirit, Emergency Recovery, Thunder. I still think that's what we want. So I think we're gonna buy it. It's cheap. It's fine. It's not that bad. We might have a use for it later. It's a legendary one. We'll keep it for now. All right. Do we get something better? No, we do not. Except Jackpot. So this is one of very rare instances where Jackpot is actually kind of a good blessing to get, because we have Unfettered Will, which increases our weapon damage. So getting more copper and more copper immediately is actually pretty okay, because this one is really bad. Eye of Providence and Craftsman Inheritor is not something we're really going for. We want to get as many scrolls as possible, so Jackpot it is. Very rare instance where I take up Jackpot. That boosts our damage up to 200% in total for the amount of gold we have. We also have Enhancement Lover as well, which benefits from Jackpot as well. A synergy I didn't think of. Alongside Hidden Transaction. I forgot we picked this up all the way at the start. So Hidden Transaction, Enhancement Lover, alongside Jackpot is going to allow us to do a lot of weapon upgrading, which could potentially be a really good source of damage overall. So I might just start upgrading weapons from here on out. Simply because we have Enhancement Lover as well as Hidden Transaction. And yeah, you can see we were just clearing house with this AoE damage with the Pheonix Roar. As I expected. So, looking at our build at the moment, we're over halfway through the run. The one thing we're missing, we have mobility, we have increased speed, we have more dashes. So mobility has been solved. The one thing I think we're missing is damage mitigation of some kind. Either get a massive amount of health regeneration, or get something like just damage reduction in general. That's something we're missing for this build and might become a problem later on. For now it's fine, because we just have enough mobility to out-dodge everything. But later on, with Lone Wolf 4, it's going to become a problem, because the amount of elites that will spawn during the final stage is simply too high. We're not going to be able to deal with it without any form of damage mitigation. Or if we have such absurd damage that we just kill them instantly before they have a chance to attack us. Which, on Reincarnation 10, is basically unheard of. We're going to go immediately into the vault, because we have enough damage, I think, to actually kill it. And I feel pretty safe. Well, we got hit by the stun barrel, that's really good actually. I don't like the fact that you're up there plinking away at me though. Get over, get off, get down from there. Hello! That could have ended poorly. Like, that could have ended the run right there, if I wasn't careful. Like, I have the ability to avoid most of the attacks, but our single target damage is lacking a bit. That's for sure, unfortunately. I think we've got to start upgrading this Pheonix Roar. Perfect 6th, okay. Berserker Skull, not that amazing. Speedy Traveler, more movement speed. I might just take that one. Yep, more movement speed. Like I said, our movement speed situation has been solved, but slightly more movement speed couldn't hurt. If we had a damage mitigation scroll there, I would have probably taken it, but we didn't, so that just didn't happen. Now that we're a bit more ways into the run, though, let's check our scrolls here. Can we go for a legendary most? If we do rare most, we have a 78% chance. If we do legendary most, we have a 54% chance with the legendary. I think that's worth it, because legendary just deals so much more damage in general, so I think we're gonna swap. With the higher chance of getting a legendary one, is just worth it. Yeah, legendary like that. I see that catfish. Ow. Yeah, that's a problem. That's our one revive. One more fuck up, and we're out. And that's what I mean by not having damage mitigation is going to become a problem. That is exactly what I mean. We need more ways to mitigate the damage we take, either by increasing our health or just taking less damage. Yeah, this one's okay. Increases the amount of cards that we can hold. I thought, anyway. No, it just increases our capacity. That's okay, though. Let's juice up the damage a bit on this thing. Level 10. Should increase our damage quite a bit. Yeah, that feels slightly better. Shoo, hello. I don't like these lanterns, they're scary. Yeah, combine that with you, I'm actually kind of scared here. Might die. I need to get back there and deal with the... stay alive, come on. Regenerate health, please. Thank you. We need to deal with the guys that keep spawning the lanterns. I can't keep up with them, dealing with them forever. Especially like if I get stuck! Corrosive shards saving our bacon right there. Alright, they're dealt with at least. That's good. Okay, that was close to ending the run. We need damage mitigation. Battle Scarred for our next blessing, if we can make it that far, would be amazing, but I somehow doubt it. Random scroll. Bluff, okay, increased damage, just when you have full health. This build is generally at full health most of the time, so pretty okay one. I'm legitimately tempted to swap this Restore Spirit to Crystal Shield, which blocks an attack. I'm legitimately tempted to do that, considering we just need to survive. This game ain't easy, let me tell you that. Got a legendary house. You guys spawn there. Fantastic. Sometimes our weapons slightly further. The 3-4, that should be enough. Please give me some like better regeneration here. Legendary meteor, I'll take it. Make our talisman legendary. Okay, things are happening. Rare recovery, more health regen. Okay, we might just be back in this. Auto charge? Yes, please. I will pick up even more legendary. Okay, so stuff just became good. Alright, let's rebuild this thing. So, first of all, auto charge. No reason not to use it. Let's go for 2 meteors. And then copy magic on one of the legendary meteors. Just give us a crap ton of meteors. I still want 1 thunder. Because, you know, stunning enemies is very valuable. Emergency recovery, we absolutely want that. Do we grab a skill boost? Maybe. It's either skill boost or restore spirit, and I think we just go skill boost here. Or do we? I think these counts, the meteors and thunder counts as skill damage. I think. So it would increase the damage of them a lot. Then again, a lot of our damage is coming from our weapon right now. These are the things you have to ponder when you make a Reincarnation 10 run. Especially one that is in such dire straits as this one. I think we're gonna go Restore Spirit. Alright. Let's see this shit in action. Yeah, that's more like it. Whoop, watch out. Yeah, meteors are putting in work now. Absolutely. With all these meteors. Yeah, the damage dealt by our talisman is going up pretty nicely. Very, very nice stuff. That's the vault back there. Phantom Peddler, what do you have? Fire Shard? We're not really... Actually, we are. We are dealing fire damage from the meteors. We might just take this one, actually. It would make us immune to fire as well, which is a potential problem. Or rather, the fire damage is the problem we take. So, yeah, we're gonna grab that. Pretty acceptable pick. Let's do a comparison here. This one has more damage if you compare it to this one. And it has the correct Gemini as well. I might just swap this one. Yep. Slightly less, it has... Actually, it has more projectiles on it as well, so... Pretty good pickup. We can enhance it as well, see what kind of stuff we get on it. I'm gonna take both of these. Yep. It's gonna increase our shields a bit, which we desperately need. Did we do the red chest? Yeah, the red chest was over by the start. Phantom Peddler, the vault is over there. I want to go back to the craftsman. Etch onto you. An okay etch. Not amazing, not terrible. I would have preferred if we just said more damage, because that would have counted. Alas, no such luck. Is this a mini-boss? Ooh, it's a parkour one. Shouldn't be too bad. Since we have all of this movement stuff. No need to dash, we're fast enough. This one is only really good if you have a slow-firing weapon, which we do not. Good and evil is, at worst, it's increased lucky shot chance. Copper Miner, enemies within 7 meters drop 2 times the basic reward. I am half tempted to take this one just because it increases the amount of money we get from enemies that die closely. But the problem is we're not really a close-range build. If we were a shotgun build or a melee build, this one would be a pretty good choice. Alas, we are not, so we're gonna grab this one instead. And we're gonna, since we have so many resets to do, I'm going to look through our scrolls and see which ones we may want to re-roll. So Elemental Relic, we don't really do elemental effects, nor elemental damage, so we're gonna reset this one. Paranormality. Okay. I think that's a good one because we get effectively more health. The health recovery from emergency recovery is still going to stay the same. So I think that's fine. Normally this one can be a dodgy scroll depending on what kind of setup you have. But I think for us it's pretty okay. It's pretty good. Deft Hands doesn't really do anything for us. We're not really concerned about ammo economy, so reset that one. Untold Effort. 50% chance to double consumption and 50% chance to deal double damage. Pretty good for us, actually. Usually, this one's kind of bad. For our build, though, it's actually pretty good. So, I'll absolutely take that. What else do we maybe not need? Actually, let's see. That we can reroll, I should say. Eventually, we want to reroll on the house when we get towards the end. Absolutely. Elemental Torment... Technically, we do elemental effects, is the thing. With our meteors and thunders, they do inflict elemental damage, or elemental effects, so this one is actually okay, it's not terrible. But we do have still 9 things to reset if we want to. Energy Sandal is okay. It just increases our damage by just 24% every time you dash. Pretty okay. Yeah, I think I'm still pretty happy with this. There's nothing I really want to reroll right now. We will be rerolling Enhancement Lover, Hidden Transaction, maybe Unfettered Will later on. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this. Strategic Advance! Ooh, that's a big one. Very good movement scroll. Just keep dashing and you gain more movement speed. Very, very good. Yeah, our AoE damage is pretty sick right now, I'm gonna be honest. Gonna upgrade 3 times there. Level 21 Pheonix Roar, not to be messed with. Got an elite coming in. And yeah, that's the amount of damage we're now putting out. Hot diggity. But we still don't have that much damage mitigation, so this run could still end in the blink of an eye. Just be careful. Again, something that would just help us mitigate damage would be really good for us right now. Crit stacks, we don't do crit damage. Weapon damage, sure we do that, but it's not really that effective this one. I'm gonna re-roll. Thunder Step! Ooh, this one's big. Every time you dash, you summon a lightning bolt and temporarily stun enemies nearby. Very big effect, especially with this build since we want to keep enemies away from us. Surprise bonus, just increased skill damage. Pretty good pickups there. We'll take both. I want to recycle all of these for all the money. One of the tiny benefits actually running Lone Wolf 4 without the blessing is actually the amount of elites that spawn. Sure, it's usually the death of you, but if you can defeat them, you're pretty nicely rewarded. Here we go. So the talisman at this point is starting to deal 1/4 of all our damage, if not more. We're gonna do the mini-boss. And this is why, what I mean, well, one of my earlier comments I made in one of my previous videos, that talismans are just kind of overpowered in how good they are, because they just offer so many benefits. For very little downside, to the point where it's carrying our damage at this rate. And he's dead. Brutal Gloves is generally just a good scroll. Free damage for in most situations. Skill and weapon damage. Especially since we're not doing any critical hits. It's just free. We take that. The other two scrolls don't really benefit us, or is an active detriment. Hello. Careful. Itchy nose. Definitely not something you want this early on. Holy crap. Yeah, so safety measures right now has saved us so many times during this run. Simply because of how much damage is it actually recovered, health it has recovered for us. This thing, safety measures, gets an endorsement from me, absolutely. Don't underestimate how good it is if you have a build that dashes a lot. Elemental power, an okay one, doesn't really have a downside. This one is actively bad, so we're gonna pick the Star Protection, I guess. Yeah, we've not gotten any of the actual Ascensions we want this run. Like, for instance, let's see, where is it? Like, Fated Thread, we kinda want. Under Control, we also really want. Like, these two are the ones we haven't gotten this entire run. And they're like two of the most important Ascensions. So unfortunate. And we still don't get it. Alright, Mysterious Revelation, I guess it is then. At least we're getting a lot of money. Keeping our weapon damage very high. We did the vault. I don't think there was a chest anywhere. From my memory anyway, so... We got the boat ship. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. We'll see how it goes. Giant Slayer? Because we do so many instances of damage, Giant Slayer is a very good option. We'll pick that up. Extra Surprise and Thorny ones we don't need. We'll just pick up the Evil Devouring Sword here just in case we ever get a Cursed Scroll. Then it will be free damage. Alright, I'm actually slightly worried about this. We'll see how it goes. We might die here though. We don't really have any means of protecting ourselves against a giant meteor that hits. So I'm tempted just to remove the Restore Spirit for now and add in the Crystal Shield. It's going to be our last hope against the giant barrage attack, in case we ever need to face tank it and can't prevent it in time. It'll be a nice option to have. Where are you? There you are. Careful. Alright, the real phase begins. Okay, we were able to hit them. Hit them, thank you. Okay, Pheonix Roar has homing properties against it. That's actually really nice. I didn't know that. Okay, barely able to hit that. Where is it? I need the ball. There it is. Please hit it. Oh, thank you. Okay, there we go. That was slightly worrying, but we pulled through. I might as well pick both of these, because right now our primary skill is actually doing a lot of damage, so I'll take both. Stone Skin! It's a tiny bit damage reduction. It's a start. I'll take it though, that's for sure. Alright. Peddler, what you got? I might just take an extra emergency recovery here to have even more health regen. Then again, we will be regenning a lot with safety measures, so... let's reroll. Another legendary meteor. Do I need another legendary meteor? Not really. Alright, let's do some reforging here. So, generally, you want to lock Talisman cooldown reductions. And we're going to do that. Actually, exclusive. Release 1 extra super meter for every 8 meter. Cast bigger size 20% damage. AoE guaranteed to flip burning effect. I really just care about cooldown. That's the main thing I want right now. That's like the one thing we want. Let's just reforge and see what we get. Oh, need to add in the immediate transfer. Reforge, see what we get. Okay, this one's really good. 10% talisman cooldown reduction after triggering gem 23 times up to 30%. Really, really good one, especially since we have the auto trigger one. So we're gonna grab that. We roll again, and we're gonna lock that one in, because this one's one of the best ones in the game. Reforge. Sure, I'll take it. Let's reroll again. Here we go, here's some better ones. Negative 18% talisman cooldown. Very good. Rare power gem has 15% chance to trigger 1 additional times. Thing is, those are just rare, not our legendary ones, which we really, really want. So let's lock you in. I'll reroll one more time. Neither of these are good, so we'll keep the original one. Alright, with that, we've reduced the cooldown of this thing a lot, which is going to increase our recovery rate from this thing. That's generally something you want to aim for, though, with Talisman. Just reduce the cooldown. Because that's going to be so efficient with emergency recovery, spirit shield, thunder, everything. Let's see here, though. Yeah, I think we just want this. We want survivability, if nothing else. Please give me Battle Scarred. No Battle Scarred, okay. 50% of the weapon damage for 5 seconds, consuming Astro Aspect with 300%. Every 6 Astro Aspects consumed allows drawing a card with different effects for 10 seconds. Each card effect will stack 50 times. Okay, this one's actually pretty good, because you are consuming them a lot thanks to Explosive Hand. So let's go functional deck, and we'll replace the gem collector, which is basically useless to us now anyway, so... Okay, let's do this. Slightly worried about dying, potentially, but... we'll see. Our damage output has gone through the roof, though, and especially our movement speed. Yeah, so these guys are the ones I'm most afraid of. These charging guys. In the final stage, enough of them can spawn where you literally cannot deal with them all in time. But with this movement speed, we should be able to outrun them at the very least. Ooh, watch out. Get back here. I ain't done with you yet. There's one down. There's another one over here. Yeah, our single target damage is now getting pretty damn good. Pretty happy with this. Granted, our secondary skill generation isn't high enough, so we're going to remove the crystal shield and add back the restore spirit, so we can start generating more secondary skills again. Another craftsman. Level up a few times. Level 30 now. Pretty good. See what we got. A chest. Did we get a vault somewhere? Let's do the chest first. Guaranteed legendary scroll? Is there really any legendary scroll that would benefit us massively? There's one I can think of, and that would be Spirit Feline. Spirit Feline would be a really nice option. But I don't know if I would even want that. Let's just do Luxurious one. Coin Shot? That's an okay one. We have enough luck chance to where I think it's worth it. Would be pretty good. Also, I'm going to reduce the in-game volume real quick. It is overpowering everything otherwise. Yeah, we're already upgraded. Didn't see a vault anywhere, so most likely another vault up ahead. That's a lot of meteors. We'll do the elite, why not? I'm feeling pretty confident. And I would rather get some more scrolls than anything else. Our movement speed is pretty hilarious though, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, damage is also getting pretty good now. Very good stuff. Just give me a damage mitigation, please. For each elite boss you defeated or assisted in defeating. Thing is, I don't think this one applies retroactively, only the enhanced version does. Either way, we're running low on opportunities to pick up all of them, and all of these are actually pretty good, so I'm going to pick up all of them. From the greedy choice. We held onto it all that time, and it finally paid off. Lone Wolf, I'm going to reset you, see if we get anything good. Fast Loader, kinda bad. Evil Devouring Sword, we don't really have a use for you. Greedy Choice again, okay. I don't think you stack up, do you? No, 0%. Granted, we are going to kill quite a few more elites, so it might just be worth it to keep it anyways. Like, if we got this thing early, it would have been absurd. Especially with, when you play with Lone Wolf 4. It is absurdly good. Hell, even getting it early on in any normal run is very good, but especially with Lone Wolf. Yeah, I think we're just gonna hold on to the rest for now. Nothing I really want to reroll. Yeah, our cooldown is now very short. The amount of meteors respawning is very, very high. And I'm pretty sure each of them is actually triggering a damage instance. Which does work with our weapon. Yeah. So, the thing that makes this build work is because each meteor counts as a skill damage, and because we're using the Pheonix Roar, each skill damage counts as a weapon damage as well. And because we have this Gemini, every weapon damage plants a spore, which causes more weapon damage. It's almost recursive in a way. That's the reason this build works. And why I wanted to showcase it. And this isn't the only hero this build works on, by the way. Another one it works fairly well on is Nuna, as well as... what's his face? The squirrel, I forgot their name. I forgot the name, but it works pretty good on the squirrel as well. Final Judgment? Actually very good. We'll take it. Now these would have been absurd like bonuses to have. 25% mark damage, mark detonation on enemies in the domain up to 300%. Very, very good bonuses on this one. Unfortunately, our Pheonix Roar is so much upgraded that this essentially deals double damage anyways. So I don't think we want to buy this one to upgrade it. It's a bit too late for that. Bloody ammo doesn't really matter, but we can re-roll it. So that's what we're gonna do. Big Eater? Big Eater is actually pretty okay. Gonna give us some nice overhealth, just in case. Again, no reason to rush in, keep the distance. And you want to focus this goddamn flying saucer as soon as it comes in, because it's just going to be a pain in the ass otherwise. Yeah, because it's just going to block a lot of damage on the enemies, so kill it if all possible immediately. Hello there, that's an elite. Yeah, very, very good damage. Even single target damage is becoming pretty damn good. Which I will absolutely take. Because at this point we should start picking up the all... Because we have Blessing in Disguise, we should start picking up both of them at once. Finally! Oh, I've been missing you. Come to Papa. That's just what the doctor ordered. I think that's everything. And everything instantly explodes. Yeah, just obtain a random one. Elemental Bestowment, pretty okay actually for this build. It gives us a tiny bit of health regen actually, which is pretty okay. Hello, here comes some more elites. Stay out of range. Here we go. Pretty good build, I would say. It took a little bit, but we got there. If anything, this should showcase how a previously thought bad run can go from kinda scuffed and not really going anywhere in terms of damage to very, very good in a very short time span if you get lucky. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this run. Took a little bit, slightly longer run than usual, but very good otherwise. And as we're coming up towards the final boss, I just wanted to say thank you if you've stayed for all this time, all along this video. And hopefully you could have, if nothing else, at least taught you some new tricks and renewed your resolve for tackling Reincarnation 10 in case you were struggling with it before. And giving you some general ideas for how you want to do things. Tactical reload, don't really need you, so we're going to change you into takes 2. Not an amazing one, but we'll take it. Increased legendary chance, I guess. Yeah, 69%, very good. Alright, I think this is the final section of this stage, which means that we're going to have a lot of elites to deal with. So this is the make or break of this run. Either we finish this, basically here, or we perish. It's one of those two. Granted, we have so much damage that I'm fairly hopeful for this. UFO, just realized. Kill you first, always. After it's taken enough damage, it will always go into its shooting mode, and then it will take less damage. Yeah, here they come. Here come the elites. Stay very careful. We have enough movement speed that we can literally just kite them. Ow, 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 that hurt. Please stay away. Stay away, stay away. It's mainly the flamethrower I'm scared of, though, from these guys. Alright, yeah, this damage is able to deal with them though fairly well. That's one of them dead, that's 2. That should be 3. Just one left. Yeah, we had enough weapon damage so we could just power through this. Very, very easily. Very good. Very, very good. Okay, select both. Very good. It takes 2. Sure, I can take it. That should have given us... Okay, I guess it didn't. Yeah, even more shields, thank you. Shields is kind of our lifeblood at the moment, so And because we have paranormality, we want even more shields if possible. I'll take Mirror Hand, why not? Alright, do we want to re-roll our Talisman at all? I think we do. This one is kind of meh, so if possible we want to re-roll it. Oh, Legendary Thunder. Very good. Alright, let's re-roll it. Or say reforge it. Yeah, we'll lock these two and reforge it. Trigger condition, not really care about that. Acquire 1 stack for each Thunder, Meteor, and Corrosive / equipped. Each stack increases total damage from Talisman and Power Jump by 7.5%. It's not terrible, but I don't know if it's better than this one. Because we only have 2 rare gems and the rest are legendary, so I might just take it. Yep. We'll take it. Not the worst thing ever, but not the best either. Now, if we get Gluttony as the boss, we win this run. I have no doubt. Gluttony is the easiest, is the easier of the 2 bosses in my opinion. Polar Monarch is actually scary on Reincarnation 10 because she has a lot of attacks that you can't quite dodge, I've realized. Like, you can dodge most of them, especially the really hard-hitting ones, but on Reincarnation 10 she has so many small instances of damage that are so hard to dodge that it's just awful. So yeah, I still have hopes for this run though, that we'll actually finish it. And even if we don't, we made it pretty damn good distance. Resilient Life, I would normally take this. This is a pretty good damage mitigation scroll if you're running a health build, or even if you're just not running health build, just health in general, but since we have a paranormality, that's not really worth it. I think we just... Actually, we take all, and we then re-roll as many of them as possible. Next stage. Because we are the bird. Alright. Polar Monarch! I'm slightly scared. But I still have high hopes. Dormant Bullet? Does this count if you only have 1? I don't know, but I'm not going to attempt it. Very bad, because we don't want to have a cooldown for a secondary skill. No retreat, sure, I'll take it. Gourmet, okay, I'll take it. Alright, let's max out our Pheonix Roar. And we re-roll some scrolls. Alright, so we got it to level 52, that's very high. And now we re-roll some stuff. So, Unfettered Will, we have no need for you. Lightless Shield, very good one, very good pickup. Enhancement Lever, Dual Edge, don't really care about that one, it's not really going to impact us. Hidden Transaction, we can reroll you. Flowing Wind, very good one. That's a damage mitigation. Stable Supply. We got Hidden Transaction again. Fantastic. Resilient Life, we can reset you. Elemental Weave, okay. On the house, we can reset you. We got Stable Supply. We can reset you. Thorny Carapace, it's okay. Scroll Enhancer. Actually, do we have any scrolls that we literally do not want? Because we can just recycle them. Like you, I don't have a need for you, so I'm going to recycle you. Did we enhance anything? No. Okay. Dual Edge, don't need you. Enhance Good and Evil, more luck chance, and primary and skill dodge. Very good. What else? Elemental Weave, we have no use for you. Enhanced Sucker Punch. Scroll Enhancer's been destroyed. Alright. Let's re-roll a few more if we can, that we don't need. Gourmet, I don't know if the boss can drop health buns, so we're gonna reset it. Concurrent cooldown, doesn't really matter. Yeah, we can reset you. Enhanced on the house. Oh, it's a feedback loop. Blessing in disguise, we don't need you. Ooh! Okay, hello. After dashing 2 times... Oh my god! After dashing 2 times, gain immunity to all damage for 2 seconds, I think we just solved our damage mitigation. That's fantastic! Okay. I'm no longer that scared. That is excellent. Very good news. Okay. Are we ready for this? I don't feel ready, but here we go. Yeah, so it's constant dodging here to keep up the damage mitigation. Very good damage, though. We'll go for that one first. Yeah, we're almost immune at all times, thanks to our dodging. I would prefer to not try and still not get hit, though, as much as possible. Ow. Right, going into phase 3. Can we kill it before that happens? We almost could. Very close. Yeah, I have no worries about this. And that's a GG! Woo! So, that is a quick a quick showcase of Reincarnation 10 with Xingxi. Or is it Jing Xiao? I don't remember the name. The librarian card bird. Hopefully you could have learned something new from this, and how I do my decision making for my Reincarnation 10 runs, or just in Gunfire in general, how I decide what scrolls to get and what builds to make. I may continue making more of these build guides in the future with actual commentary rather than just a documented run. If that's something you would like, let me know and I can probably cook something up. If there's any build in particular that you're very interested by, I can do another run with it, with commentary to actually showcase and describe my thought process behind the build itself. But until next time, that has been Reincarnation 10 with the Pheonix Roar. Thank you all for watching, and have a good day.